The King's Weaver, Chapter 17. The Disguise Irava. She was with her brother at the high table before. She turns back toward her mother, the very picture of the polite princess. She isn't happy. I know that. I know that. I know what it's like to have a mother who dictates your every move and criticizes when you step off a very fine line. And with all of these things and all of these thoughts, I decide on my plan. After breakfast, before the mage candidates are called to the first practice session of the day with Master Aldrich, I find a quiet corner in a little used corridor and drop my illusion, quickly weaving another illusion around myself of one of Dowager Zinara's ladies-in-waiting. I watched Lady Denala flirt heavily with Nikolai 2 places down from me at dinner the night before. I'd been distracted by my second meeting with the king and what the Dowager might do about it. But I'm ever attuned to Nikolai's moods. It's only survival. Lady Denala had the most obnoxious laugh, and there's no way I can forget the simper of her voice or the way she fanned her bosom every time Nikolai said anything even remotely complimentary. And then a few more times for good measure. Not that I can replicate that masterpiece of a performance for any length of time, or with any real skill, but I'm going to do my best. I'm not the best actor, but I am excellent at my illusions, and it only needs to hold up for a little while. I'm hoping I won't have an active audience anyway. And now, I stand outside the entrance to Dowager Zinara's chambers, my heart pounding. It can't be uncommon for Lady Denala to be here, because the guards only nodded to me on the way up. I've worked up what I might say, if I'm challenged, that the Dowager had left a favored bracelet in her rooms and asked me, Lady Denala, to retrieve it for her garden party. No one yet has challenged me. If I'm discovered, it could mean my life. But if I don't find out what's happening in this palace, and don't find some clue why the Dowager had such a strong reaction to me meeting with Toravan, it might also mean my life. I take a deep breath and push open the door. The apartment is empty. Thank the gods. The Dowager's own guards are all down in the Great Hall. Now, inside the apartment, I exhale in relief, wiping slick palms against the real fabric of my pants beneath the illusory dress. I close the door behind me and survey the sitting room, gathering my willpower to focus, looking for anything out of place. Any sort of clue at all, but I don't even know what I'm looking for. All I really have is a hunch that maybe the Dowager knew about my visit with Toravan to his father's chambers, and that she tried to intimidate me for it. I've learned to trust my hunches. Weavers thrive on hunches to navigate the threads of reality, pulling them into different alignments. I'm not going to stop trusting my gut now. But I was wrong about Toravan. I was so wrong about Toravan. But was I? Or had I been running scared on what I'd been told? Running because this marriage hadn't been my choice when I was promised a choice. I peer at the underside of couches and squint at closed and locked drawers. My fingers trace the spines of books on the shelves, searching for any titles that stand out to me. But they're mostly dull political volumes, not even the few Weaver's volumes that were on the late king's shelves. I recognize a few of these from my grandmother's library. I don't see any weirdness of reality like I'd seen in the late king's chambers. No lesser reality, no heightened reality. I press on into the study, where I met with more of the same. Papers stacked neatly on the desk, their contents disappointingly mundane.